Morning, Alice.
Good morning.
How are you?
Who is that?
It's Jim.
Hi, Jim. Well, I'm hanging in there
Good.
best I can.
All right.
It's been a long haul, huh, for all of us. Really
It
terrible.
sounds like it.
Good
Yeah.
morning.
Good morning,
Good
Elliot.
morning.
I'm Jim.
Hi, Jim.
I'm Alice.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
You folks get rain?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
really
just
do.
checked my rain gauge and we had about 1 3/4 inches here.
Where are
Yeah.
you?
It was coming down pretty good yesterday.
No,
Where are you?
I'm in Brattleboro.
Oh, wow. I used to live there. Nice town to live in.
Yeah, I'm over on the other side of the banana belt.
Hmm.
Good morning.
Hey,
Morning.
John.
Hey, Jim,
Yes.
did you get your card for your relative?
No.
No. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh. Actually, that topic is perfect for today's topic for cyber scam. My email account was hacked.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of strange.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a real request from you.
No.
Do you think my iPad's been affected by it since I answered it?
I haven't heard anything because I have heard of other people that just replied back saying, hey, what can I do?
Oh, you got the Amazon scam?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what, yes, no, this was eBay, buy a eBay
Oh,
card from my niece or something like that.
Yeah, I
yeah,
got
it's
it.
a variation of the Amazon scam, which is the same thing. My suggestion to everybody who's getting that is one, change your password on your email contact list, and two, send an email to everybody on your contact list to ignore it.
Yeah.
The other thing, who's what's your email account with? Is it a Gmail account, a Comcast account?
Hotmail shows you how
Hotmail.
old it was.
Okay.
And imagine all the contacts. That was my original email address.
Yeah. What we're seeing is that older email addresses, Hotmail, AOL, and also Gmail are the most susceptible because they're easy to hack. And the reason why is anything that is free is not very well protected. So I always recommend that people move their email to whatever their internet service provider is. So if you have Comcast, Verizon, AT&T, whoever you get you pay, okay? Use their provided email address. They have a vested interest in keeping you happy, which is you pay them.
Yep.
Gmail is free.
Yep.
Hotmail is free. And you get what you pay for, basically.
And what about Comcast?
If your email address is a Comcast address, that's fine. I don't recommend using any of the free emails. Now, those came out initially when people started using email and they looked at a way to get subscribers. And they don't charge anything. They don't spend a lot of time, as much as Google claims it does, they don't spend a lot of time monitoring and developing security.
So say again what we should do if we have Google, which I do.
So
too.
what you should do with on an email account is use an email account that's tied to whoever your service provider is. So service providers are the folks you pay for your connection. They're going to have an interest in keeping you happy and keeping you safe.
Okay, good, like Comcast.
I think in general, our problem as a society is we see the word free and it gets us excited because we're being given something.
Yeah, sure.
And the reality is there's no such thing as free. Really, there isn't. The couple of you who are old enough to share with me a membership in that great organization called Medicare, you probably have noticed, even if you're not a member of our group, you've probably noticed that TV channels are inundated with advertisements for Medicare Advantage.
Yes, what about that?
Be very careful. It's not that they're scams, but you notice that when they promote them, it's look at all the things you can get for free, right?
Dental, eye tests.
Yeah. Guess what?
What?
It's not free. They don't make money by giving everything away. They make money by getting you to subscribe, and you're going to pay them. You're going to either pay them in a premium, you're going to pay them in a copay, you're going to pay them in out-of-pocket expenses in one way or another to make up for what they give you. So it may be a high deductible, it may be a high premium, but somewhere in there, they're going to get paid. So
What are you doing it? Are you just deleting them? I get 10 calls a day from them. I get emails from them.
Yeah.
Numerous emails every day. They call me every time of day or night asking me to join this Advantage plan.
Yeah. The rule of thumb is that they are not allowed to contact you directly, meaning they're not supposed to be calling you or visiting your home.
They are calling me. They're calling me many times.
If they are calling you, then somewhere along the line you established a relationship with them.
Yeah.
And the best thing to do is let them know that you don't want any more calls. Beware of any phone calls that you get that come out of your local calling area code. So, for instance, mine is 254. Whenever I see a call from a 254 and it says it's Medicare, they're not located in Brattleboro. They're somewhere else, but they're using a spoofed number, and that's why you're seeing a number other than the real one. So, the advice is don't answer the call. They're not going to get tired because it's free to them. And if it gets annoying enough, contact the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation or the Attorney General.
Okay, very good advice. Very good. That's what I was going to do. I was going to I was going to forward them to the Attorney General's office. It just seemed. I'm also getting a lot of things saying that I've won this, I've won that, $750, $50,000.
Oh, we're going to go over that.
Good.
I'll leave you to your meeting until you're ready for me.
Very good.
Okay, you think everybody's, well, I don't think everybody's here, do you?
Very helpful.
We can,
Good
We
morning,
can get
good morning,
started.
Alice.
Morning.
how are you
Morning.
feeling, Alice?
Well, my leg is very painful, but I'm managing. I'm doing okay. I'm just waiting for my surgery date on January 6th.
Oh, okay.
I'm very worried about the number of people who are in the hospitals with the virus. That has me very on edge. So I've been looking up that data to see how many people are in Bennington, how many are in Rutland. I haven't decided which hospital to go to yet.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any recommendations, anybody? Any experience? It's a
I
hip.
think it's a moving target right now.
Yeah, it is. It sure is.
Uh,
A lot more
'Cause
cases in
I mean,
Vermont.
we had more
The holiday.
cases last night or yesterday, and so I don't think we can predict anything, and I think they are being very careful
Oh,
I don't
sure.
know about Rutland. I know here from what I've talked to some of the nurses, they're being
Yeah.
about as careful as they can possibly be.
Sure.
But that's what that is. I don't,
Yeah. What can they do about it? It's just happening, Ever since Halloween, Thanksgiving, it's just gotten so bad in Vermont. It's such a shame. Such a shame.
Alice, where do you see, how many people are in Bennington's hospital with COVID? How do you see that information?
I just asked Google.
Yeah.
How many people, I didn't ask about Bennington yet. I asked Google about Rutland. How many people with the coronavirus 19 are in the Rutland Hospital? And I got all this data. What I'm not sure about, since our meeting, I just did this a few minutes ago. What I'm not sure about is that data for all of Vermont? Is that just for Rutland or what? So I have to look deeper.
I'm not sure anybody is in the hospital right now in Bennington with it. Does anybody know that? I mean, usually
I
the
don't
bank
know.
has that side that, the update every day on the side. I think, I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, I was told a week ago there was no one, but that could change pretty rapidly.
Sure. That's right, especially now.
Yeah. I think we have to see what Thanksgiving did.
That's right.
Well, that probably won't be for another week or so,
Halloween did a lot of damage.
according to what the professionals are saying about that. But
Yeah.
Vaccine's coming though,
yes,
but maybe
do we
not.
think? Well, I think we just have to hunker down for the next 4 months, and then it'll start to alleviate. That's my opinion.
If any of you hear anything about the cases in the hospital, give me a call, will you, or email me?
Okay.
I will. Sure, certainly we will. Do we think anybody else is coming?
They'd probably be in by now.
I would think so. It's 10 minutes. So let's get started.
Very breezy at your house, John.
Yes. And we can pledge allegiance to the flag. And so I think we're supposed to stand if that's possible. I don't know. Alice, that's all right, besides you.
Yeah.
And
Amy, okay?
you're fine.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance
To the
To the
flag
flag
to the flag
of the
The
United
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 States
States of America
and to the republic
Republic
for which it stands,
One
one nation,
nation
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible.
indivisible,
with
with
liberty.
liberty
and
and
justice for all.
for all.
Okay. Let's see. Kathy, you want to do the four-way test for us?
Yes, the four-way test are the things we think, say, or do. First, is it fair to all? There, I am. First, is it fair to all?
No. First, is it the truth?
Oh, first, is it the truth? Everybody help me out now. I haven't had my
Okay.
coffee. First, is it the truth?
Second,
Fair to all concerned.
fair to all concerned.
Third, will it build
No,
better?
no. Third,
Will it build better?
better.
Yeah, go ahead, you guys.
Okay.
Third, will build goodwill and better
Build better
friendship.
friendship.
And fourth will be
Fourth,
beneficial
beneficial
to all concerned. Okay.
I gotta have coffee. I just gotta.
All right. Do we have any happy dollars which we can give it someday when we get together again?
Yes, I have a happy dollar. I've been watching my granddaughter since they were 4 years old, and Chloe made the All-State Vermont team for soccer.
Oh, good.
It was a very abbreviated season, but they did have a somewhat season, and they did have senior night, and just kind of watching her all those years, it was just kind of nice.
I saw that in the paper, Kathy. It was
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some little joy for the seniors
right.
who have had very little schooling and very little joy, but they're doing okay.
Do you think the schools are going to open? Are they going to open at all?
I know Pownell yesterday, I don't quite understand things. I think I just talked to my grandsons, who maybe they're going to close. They're going 4 days a week in Burlington, and they're right in the heart of Burlington, which that's a very big school, Edmonds. And they're moving, and they're going to go to schools in Jericho. They're all going, they go 4.5 days of school. On the other hand, I just heard that Pownell yesterday went all remote. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, when the teacher got online with them, there wasn't a student there.
Wow.
The
Bad.
all remote for the local schools, I believe, is just for this week though,
Well, I hope so.
of Thanksgiving. It's for this week because they've been doing for at least at SVSU Elementary, they've been doing like kids go to school for 2 days a week.
Right.
And then remote the others. So each classroom is only like half size.
It's just a little puzzlement to why a school as big as Edmonds in the heart of Burlington is going 4 days. But that is the way it is. And there's a lot of research saying that kids should be in school, at least K through 5. The research out of Brown is that way. I hear it every day. So we may have to rethink this. It's the elementary schools where they think it is healthier for kids to be. High school kids gather, they gather at their lockers, things like that. They do more social gathering. But the research seems to say that it is okay for elementary kids to be in school.
It's just so bad right now. I wish we could, I look forward to I don't look forward to it, but I'm interested in knowing what the numbers are now that Thanksgiving just ended.
Yes. I'm not sure why Pownell went remote. I suppose they had some cases.
I think they all went remote because of the governor's, was it the governor's mandate to ask kids whether or not they social gathered with interfamilies or something. So they basically took the pressure off of the kids having to tell the truth or lie.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. So hopefully they'll all have attendance today and get used to back on total remote.
Please.
How about a shout out to Mike and his appointment with the hospital foundation?
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
Hey, great.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
great.
It's I've been on the foundation board for 7 years, and so they asked me to chair the annual fund, and so it's just kind of still part of the foundation board. It's just that I'm taking a little bit more responsibility.
Oh, it's wonderful, Mike. Congratulations.
Thanks.
What
It's a
do you have to
great
do?
organization.
What do you have
What's
to
that,
do,
John?
Mike? What do you have to do?
Well, we're still kind of defining the role, and so the chair of the foundation board is named Tom Ziegler, and he asked me to do this, and so we're still kind of defining it. But basically, I'll do some letter writing, and the foundation board, it gets involved with the community quite a bit, and I think what they were looking for, what Tom was looking for, was having a face that people recognize, and just putting myself out there a little bit more. And it's kind of it's pretty low pressure, I think, I hope. And but basically just kind of getting the word out a little bit more. And so yeah, it's a great as we all know, it's a great organization. I'm a big fan of the hospital. The healthcare quality of healthcare is just off the charts. And we're really fortunate to have them here. I think we've all probably been affected by the hospital one way or the other, whether it's ourselves or with a loved one. And the other thing is too, we all probably know somebody that works there. So it's really easy for me to support, the healthcare is great. I want to make sure my friends that work there can continue to work there. And then
Sure.
also it's the largest employer in Bennington County. So we really need it as an anchor for the success of the community. So it's an easy one for me to support.
Well, Michael, after the pancake breakfast, this should be easy.
That's right. That's right. That's
There's
right.
there's no potatoes to round up.
That's right. Tiffany Tobin in the food service. She's a good friend of Rotary, and she's great at the hospital as well.
No pancake breakfast again, I guess again this year.
Not this week.
2 years. Yeah, 2 years in a row, pancake breakfast out. No fundraisers.
Well, we might be able to do it at some point in 2021.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. I think
Now,
Even
so.
if
the
it's not
virus
the
is-
normal time.
The vaccines are coming out, so that's very
I
promising.
think by summer we will still be careful, but we'll be much freer in our approach to life. And maybe that's just an optimist talking, but that's what I think.
Yeah.
If you-
Couples
if you-
who want to get
if you-
married are optimistic, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
If you can, are you all going to get the vaccine as soon as you can, as soon as it comes out, if you can?
I will.
I will.
I think
Yeah.
I will. I'll wait for John and then I will.
I'll wait for John and Kathy, and then I will.
I'll run up and check on him, for a week, and if he's okay, I'll get it.
I have
That's right.
an announcement about Spirit of Sharing.
Oh, yes, I'm very
Oh,
wonderful
great.
about that.
So, what is odd and I haven't had I've been trying to get her to call me, but I guess she has not had the opportunity to reach out yet. So I don't know exactly what happened, but blame it on the COVID. So last year we served 370 kids, just to give you a benchmark. When the applications were due, which was 2 Fridays ago, there's only 156 kids who signed up. This year of all years, you'd think like the community there'd be a greater need. My guess is that there's just some kind of maybe had to do with caseworkers not being able to like meet with people in person, because that's how they get most of their family applications, is like through the DCF and the caseworkers. So that would be my guess, of them just having to do their communications by electronically instead of in person, and so they didn't get as many applications. Now we know that there's more need than that, so they just opened it back up, and hopefully we'll get a bunch more. And we have been getting donations. Jim, I wanted to touch base with you about making sure you go to the post office on a little bit more regular basis. There's a woman who raised $850 from Japan. I guess she lived over here and she's temporarily over there, and she decided to run a half marathon. Raise $850 for this purpose. We also got 500 again from the hospital. Yay. And I think like a couple of other, some other donations are coming in. So we will hopefully we worked it out with internet. Colleen, the new internet advisor, seems awesome, and really on top of it. And she says that the kids are really flexible and they still want to help. So we kind of figured out, talk with Ron and Dana from the other club, or I don't know, when was that? A couple weeks ago, last week, whatever, and figured out how to, do it differently so the kids can still buy stuff, but and not like all at the same time. And Colleen has been really, really great. Yeah, so we're hopefully going to get like a bunch more kids this week, and then match them, and then the Interact will be able to shop this weekend. I don't think we're going to get up to 370, but it's just going to be, see how it goes.
How much,
I
what's
did
your target for funds, Jenica? What did you, last year, what were your funds that,
Donations?
well, you had the 375 to do last year. What is your target? I mean, who's fundraising? Are you just calling the hospital, or how's this
Well,
work?
it's not, it's mostly people signing up directly.
Mhm.
And then, so it's not really like a fundraising thing. It's, we try to get extra money for any kids who sign up who don't get matched. But most of them get, I mean, I don't remember how many we bought for last year. What
Well,
was it,
just,
Rob? Like
are you ready?
40 or something? I don't.
You're not running short of funds or anything. You seem to have enough funds, is, I guess, my
Well,
question.
no, like we can take whatever people want to give because it will be matched, or like we'll match it up with a kid,
Right.
assuming that more will program in the next couple of days.
Okay.
We're putting it
Jenica, where should we send the money?
where
should we send the
you
money?
could drop it off at Jim's office if that's okay with him.
Yep.
All right. Or mail it, and it would just be really useful for me to know. I'll send an email out this morning to the club, but if you would rather donate and have Interact shop rather than shop yourself, then just please let me know, because I'm kind of keeping a master list of the donations, so then I could tell Beth, like, okay, we need to have the information for this many kids.
Yeah, Jenica, I can't shop, so I'm telling you right now, and I would like to have the address to send the money to.
Post
Great.
office
I will.
box 696, PO Box 696.
What is it, please?
Post office box 696.
And I'll send that out this morning too, Alice.
What's
I
that?
did
That's
get a
Bennington,
check.
right?
I did go to the post office yesterday, so I got a check from the North Shaft Lions and the Robertsons.
And
Okay.
And that's addressed to you, Jim?
Yeah, you can put my name on it in Bennington.
Post Office 696 Bennington. Okay. Good, thanks.
Okay, that's great to hear. Jenica, if you get any other information, just email me or us.
Yep.
Okay, so we can follow up on it. And Ron, do you know on the Interact whether there's been any discussions about that?
There are discussions, but we're kind of on hold until we figure out the number of shoppings that need to be happening. So,
Okay, but you're planning on doing it this weekend? Is that it, right, Jenica?
That's the last plan. Yeah. So as long as we get enough applications, which I don't think will be an issue, because I'm about to, put it out on Facebook and more blast. Through a moms, like a local moms group that I'm in, and a couple of other places, and they're putting it back out again. So I think that it should be an issue to get more kids, because I know that the need is there.
Right.
To the people with the need.
What happens if there aren't enough families and there's way too much money?
We're not thinking about that right now.
It's not like- Okay. It's a river in Egypt. The Nile.
Well,
She
you know,
says-
I'll get
we're not
get
bell
into the
ringing.
line.
You would it ever work that because we're not bell ringing, which was the heat we matched for the heat supply, right?
Yes.
Could that, I know, probably couldn't go there. People are giving their money for Spirit of Sharing, but I was just thinking, like that's not even happening this year, which supplied some people with heat.
Terrible.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could divert, Rotary members' donations that way if that's, I don't think it's going to be an issue. One thing that Beth did mention is that usually they have like a little holiday party for their clients at the end of the year, which is not happening this year. So they're going to be like delivering stuff to kids. So it sounds like that's another way to get to buy things and get things to people, so they can
Okay.
still get something.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there any other happy dollars or business that we haven't gone through? We're not doing any ringing of the bells. That's too bad. I actually miss it. We've done it for years, and I think we raised quite a bit of money other years. But it just didn't work out this year. Is there anything else?
I'll give you a happy dollar,
Okay.
but you have to let me know how to get it to you because I already owe you one. Do I send it to Jim at the same address?
Yes, you can send it.
Okay, well, my today happy dollar is that I learned recently that a friend of mine who I served on the Appropriations Committee with for many years in the legislature is an RN, and she's offered to come and stay with me for 2 weeks after my surgery.
Oh, that's wonderful, Al.
That's
Oh
wonderful.
my gosh.
Yeah, she's a great gal.
That's wonderful.
And your surgery is going to be on the is it
The
January
6th of January, I believe.
Okay.
Unless I find out that the hospital I go to is full of virus. I'm not going, I'm waiting.
Is it Dr. Lightheart?
Well, it's either Dr. Lightheart or the doctor at Bennington, the new doctor, not new anymore, Bauer, I think it is. I haven't pronounced that correctly. It's not Stein, it's something Bauer. Schneiderbauer.
Yeah, she just did my hip. I really liked her.
Who just said that?
Jim.
Really? She did your hip, huh?
Yeah.
Was it a full hip?
Yeah, replaced. Yep.
And you're doing very well?
Yep.
Wow.
Was it a revision, Jim, or was it a brand new hip? I mean,
brand new.
Yeah.
Mine's a revision. The first surgery didn't work.
She does revisions, I think.
Wow. Good to hear that.
Yeah, she's really good. She's got a great reputation, and she's excellent. And by the way, did I say I was on the foundation board?
Be transparent.
Yeah, right.
So is there anything else that before we
coffee.
call Elliot back or good. Hi, Elliot. Who?
Back. I do need to be given co-host privilege so I can screen share. And
You'll have to do that, Jim.
there we go. Okay. I think a little conversation before we were just generally talking about some of the things that are happening We're picking up the scam that we were talking about. I need a favor. Do you have an Amazon or an eBay account? We're seeing that crop up a lot more right now. And in fact, the
Jim.
Young at Heart Senior Center in Poultney, their contact list was hacked, and we were seeing, I got one of theirs, which was a request for a $200 e-card from Amazon. And knowing what it is, I kind of lead the person on so I can get as much detail as I can. And then I forward it to the FBI because I use all the email headers and information. And quite often they can do a decent job tracing it, but if it's coming from outside the US, there's no chance. So we are seeing a lot of that, and it's not necessarily a cyber thing, other than the fact that they've hacked into people's accounts and they're using what's there. It's not a very sophisticated attack, but it's happening. And I guess we have to be aware of the fact that these people are very talented, and there's only one thing they're interested in, and that's money. So anywhere they see money, they're going to go for it. What we've seen a lot of lately, Medicare, particularly the Medicare Advantage plans, some of them are not real plans. They're just simply attempts to get as much information out of you, and the number one thing they're looking for is your Medicare number. Once they have that, then they commit all kinds of fraud. So you want to be really aware of who you're sharing information with if you're in the market for a new insurance plan or a replacement plan. I'm going to go into a screen share if I can find my presentation. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay. And bear with me as I pull into this. Before I go into this, are there any hot button items that you're experiencing other than the Amazon eBay scam that you think may be a little on the shady side?
I'm only concerned, this is John speaking.
Yes.
How do they get into the United States? Can they just hack from anywhere?
Yeah. The internet is not exclusive to the US. It's a worldwide connection. It was meant to be that. In fact, it was started by the Department of Defense about 25 years ago. And then it became commercialized. And now, we're either enjoying or suffering from it. It's what allows you to check on the weather or make a purchase anywhere in the world. But it's also an open door to con artists and criminals, because we're very quick to adopt things, but we're not that quick at looking at the security issues that are involved, and that's the sad part. Anybody who's connected to the internet with a computer can be reached by anybody else in the entire world, and that's kind of scary, I guess.
That explains it. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me go to this. Okay. So, computer fraud, why is it happening? How is it happening? What are the things you need to look for that will clue you into the fact that this isn't really legal or this is a criminal attempt? And then what things can you do? So the attractiveness, well, there's some critical reasons. One is computers are commodities. Think back 15, 20 years ago, how many people would have had a computer at home? It just didn't exist. Now, having a computer at home is no different than having a widescreen TV, microwave oven, refrigerator for that matter. So computers are out there, people have them. They're very easy to use. In fact, they've been pushed on the idea that you don't have to have knowledge of computer programming, which is true. I started using a computer in 1980. It was an IBM System 60. It filled the room. Today, I work with a laptop much of the time, and it doesn't even fill my desktop. So they're easy, they're inexpensive. I was looking at some of the deals this past weekend for today, Cyber Monday, or yesterday rather, and you know, you can pick up a computer for $100. You can pick them up cheaper than that if you have a member of the family who's upgrading and they want to get rid of their old computer and they're going to give it to you. So that. Computer users are naive. We don't know how to use a computer. What we know is how to use selected applications. So you know how to do email, you know how to do some shopping, you may be able to check your bank account. You might have a Facebook account, and going to Facebook and communicating with members of the family or so-called friends, but you don't know how to use a computer. You don't know what a computer can do. You don't know how to fix a computer. As a result, you have to take it to somebody else if there's a problem. And then the information that's necessary to steal from you is right out there, and it's there for anybody to see and take. This is an example using an advertisement from a bank in Belgium. I have to ask, are you able to hear the music?
No.
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 Okay, I'm gonna just go back out for a minute. I need to put a share in. Okay. Now, hopefully, we'll be okay. Go back to my last screen. My problem is I have so many windows open on my computer that it's hiding from me. So I have to bear with me for one moment. Can you hear it now?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to go back to it. Okay, there we go. You can hear this, right? You can hear my music.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Not now.
Not now.
Darn. I am running into little problems over on this end. Again, please bear with me. When you want something to work, sometimes it just doesn't cooperate. And I think we can do it now. Yep.
Drie, vier.
De vierde, daar zwijg ik meestal over, dus dat weten niet veel mensen.
Hoe is mijn spierscheur? Maison rouge, balcon, blanc. Ja. Ik zie geld, ik zie transacties. Maar kent je rekeningnummer van buiten? Ik denk dat ik het wel weet. Die staat wel negatief op je bankrekening.
Ja?
9-7. Last month, you spent €200 on alcohol. Vorige maand €300 aan kleding gespendeerd. 8,
Ja.
5, voor een huis dat van eigenaar gaat veranderen. 795.000 euro.
Ja, maar eigenlijk.
41.
Ja,
Is dat juist?
ja, dat is juist. Oh my god. Oh nee. Ah, dat is, ik weet niet hoe eng.
Any sense from that short commercial?
Scary.
Scary. There's a lot of information out there, and it's out there about you. And I always recommend that people go online and in the URL, in the search line of Google, type your name and see what's out there. It is amazing, and you don't even have to pay for it. In addition, you can pay for a service that will give you more information. But here's what generally is available on you. I can go online and without much difficulty, if I know what community you live in, I can pull up things like the value of your house because the grand list is a public document. I can also check out other public sources such as the Bennington Banner to see if your name is mentioned and find out what you're all about. And then if you have a Facebook account, I can ask to be a friend, or I can hack into your Facebook account and I can pull all the information from that and then use it as an attempt to con you. So everything's out there. And it's not a matter of stopping it because you're not going to stop the information flow. The thing that you're going to have to do is find a way to stop people who have it from using it. So that's where we're going to be going shortly. How does it happen? Well, there's three general ways. We've already talked about the emails. Imposter emails that are sent out and try to lure you into providing information and sometimes providing a payment. Imposter websites, and we'll see some examples of the emails and the websites shortly. Pop-up windows, hot links that suddenly show up on your computer, and sometimes they're even a statement that says there's a virus that we've detected. Or you get that great phone call from Windows saying, we've discovered a virus on your computer. By the way, Microsoft, Apple, Intel, they don't monitor people's computers. They got other things to do. The only time they're going to contact you is if you have, for instance, a Windows-based PC and there's a problem that comes up and 20,000 people report it, then they're going to send out a notice that there's a patch. But otherwise, they're not going to care about what happens on your computer unless there's a public outcry. So don't expect to be hearing from them in the way that the con artists will try to reach out. The psychology of fraud, I think, is really critical. First of all, and this is where the gift card offers come in, greed, phantom riches. And it's not so much the criminal who has the greed, which they do, but it's also us. When you wave money in front of people, quite often they will reach out. It's like the brass ring on the old merry-go-round. And greed basically is one of the prime motivations that people have for doing things. So if I can wave enough money, and enough money could be $1.7 million or it could be $50 on a gift card. You're going to reach out for it. And if you do, then I, as the con artist, already have you under my control. Secondly, impersonation, which I've already mentioned, taking the role of someone else, projecting authority. This is Microsoft. I'm from the IRS. I'm with Medicare. I'm with the Social Security Administration. I'm with Microsoft. We respond to projected authority. And so if the criminal uses it, that's going to be another way that they can lure us in. And then other ways, profiling, gathering that information about you from the internet and then using it to try and steal from you. And then threats and intimidation. If I can't use all the nice stuff, then I can threaten to burn your house down. Now, it doesn't take much to put your name into a search, your town into a search, and using Google Earth, pull up a picture of your house or whatever structure you live in. And then use that as a way of proving to you that I can burn your house down. And then finally, social consensus. If I have the sense that everybody's doing something, everybody's jumping on that bandwagon, then I'm more likely to want to be part of it, even if it's a scam. If there's an opportunity and I see members of my Rotary Club, I see members of my church or synagogue, the result is I have more of an inclination to move on that psychology. Any comments?
Scary.
Well, I have gotten the grandmother call, and I've also gotten the son call, and they were all impersonations.
Oh,
The-
yeah.
The grandmother call I knew, but the problem, say that my son was in jail, I didn't, and he was traveling, so that one I fell for. But I did not send money because I got disconnected. But that one, really, I wouldn't have thought I would have fallen for that. But because he was traveling and I was out of touch with him, I thought that one was real.
The ability to find information about you and your family is easy. And then to use that. And the classic is that grandparent scam, Grandma, I'm in jail in Montreal, help. I know a person who lives in Springfield, Vermont, who lost about $23,000 to that scam and swears to this day that it was her grandson that called her. And of course, people also do what I call, kind of foolish things, which is, Grandma, I'm in jail. Oh, is that you, Jimmy? Now the person says, yeah, it's me, Jimmy. So yeah, these are really well conceived and well carried out attempts.
Actually, this is from 20 years ago when they were young, and they were extras on a movie set. So they gave all of their information when they signed up to be extras. And this was in England. I was getting scammed from England.
Yeah.
They were extras on a movie set.
There is no limit. If the information is being stored on a computer, at some point it can be hacked. I won $1 million on an online lottery, and just as I was entering my social security number and other requested information to transfer the money to my bank account, the computer froze. Once they've gotten your social security number, yeah. Here's an example of an email that I think is pretty obvious. This is from a guy who claims to be the manager of auditing and accountancy at the Bank of Africa, and he wants to share $12.5 million with me. Right. And he wants me to tell him my full name, my address, my profession, my phone number. He's offering me blindly $12.5 million to share? Really? Should be obvious, but for some people, they see that 12.5 and they start filling in the information and say, well, it's worth a chance. No, it's not. Because now they have a contact number, they know what you do for a living, they know where you live, they know your age. You've already put yourself at risk. Here's another one. You can see that this came to me on May 22nd of this year. I get these frequently. It says Xfinity, and I happen to have an Xfinity account. And it says they want me to review my account. Okay, it looks pretty good for Xfinity. So I click on view my account, and here it says Comcast. And all it wants is my ID, my email, and my password. So I plugged in an email, arf@gmail.net, and password woof woof. And, you know, thinking that this is not going to go very far, if you notice the URL, the type in box at the top of the screen, it says something at GoDaddy. Anybody familiar with GoDaddy? GoDaddy is a website creating company. What you can do is go online to them and you can get a free account. And you can then create whatever you want on it and post it on the internet. That's what these people did. They bought an account or they got a free account. They stole or just copied the Comcast logo, some other information, made it look official by saying copyright at 2020, new CMCT. I have no idea what that is. Anyway, let's see what happens when I click on verify. Oh, wow. It says log in now for latest mail experience. Success. Remember, I used ARF and woof woof. So if I click on the check mark, it takes me to this, which is actually the Comcast Xfinity login website page. So what's happened over the course of a couple screens is I've looked at this, I got concerned about my account, I ended up going to the account and providing my login and my password. I then got a confirmation that they received it and they sent me to Comcast and they walk away with access to my Comcast account. Pretty slick. So what are the things you got to look for? Well, I always say if it's too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. They say free, it's too good to be true. Poor spelling and grammar. Notably, the folks who do these things are not the sharpest when it comes to that part of it. Quite often, you can tell the origin of a particular scam by the language that's used. I'm not a language linguist, but I know, for instance, that if they use spelling like the word color with C-O-U-L-O-R, it's most likely something that's coming out of South Asia, where they English that is learned there is British English. And then thirdly, you look at the reply to address and you look at the URL and they don't match up. It says in the reply to it's from Comcast, but the URL is GoDaddy. That doesn't make sense. If you get an email from Comcast, it's going to be from Comcast.net. It's not going to be from GoDaddy or one of the other companies that provide email addresses. So here's one of the, I won't call this one a scam, but I'll call it a deceptive approach. You can get a $500 Walmart gift card. Of course, it says details apply, and most of us don't read that because what we see is we see $500 and we see the logo for Walmart and we go, yes. I have to ask myself though, when was the last time I walked out of a Walmart and somebody was there with a clipboard and said, hi, I'm from Walmart. We'd like to give you $500. Did any of you ever experience that? Yet, I can get this online. I mean, it's even addressed to me. You can see it says, hi, E. Greenblatt. So, wow, there's a $500 gift card. Well, let's look at the fine print though. Big brand gift cards gift program is not endorsed, sponsored by, or affiliated with Walmart stores. I look at that. I kind of think it's from Walmart, but now they're telling me it isn't. So you got to read the small print. By the way, if you go through on one of these offers, and I get on average 10 to 15 of them a day, I set up a couple email accounts to lure them in. And they're all pretty similar. $50, $100. This one I liked because it was a $500 gift card. But typically you go into it, it starts asking you questions about your preferences, what you like, what you don't like, and they're collecting that information. And in the end, if you go through all of the opportunities, they start sending you opportunities to get a free magazine subscription or a heavily discounted item. It's not illegal, but it sure is shady. Here's one of them that I received not too long ago. You can see this is April of this year. And who do you think this is coming from? Wild guess.
Not Home Depot.
But think about, does it look like Home Depot?
Yes.
Yes.
Would somebody who is unsuspecting believe this is from Home Depot?
Yes.
You notice it says expiring soon. If you go back to this over and over again, you'll see that it's always expiring soon. You can go back to it like right now, and it's still expiring soon. Let's dig into it a little bit. Oh, wow. There are a number of people, and I cut off the screen, who are endorsing this. And I get a congratulations. I get all these statements of support for the program, and it gives me a chance to take the survey now. Remember, I got this as an email. I now clicked on the link, but here's something that you don't normally see. That top line, the URL that you see at the very top of the screen, is what I've expanded on the left side of the screen. Now, it looks like a bunch of gobbledygook, but let's break it down. It starts off saying US, okay. It then says desktop and browser. And it says I'm using Safari, which is an Apple product, and it's version 13.1. My US city is Brattleboro. Yep. It's saying I'm using a desktop computer with an 800 by 600 resolution, that it's a Mac, and it's using operating system 10.15. And underneath that, it says Intel. It's telling you what kind of chip my computer has. That is all given over as soon as I click at the line back here that says, okay. All of that information has now gone to the person who sent that email to me. So they know where I live, they know what my email address is, they know my name, they know what kind of computer I'm using, they know what operating system it has, they know what the browser is that I'm using. And that's one click of the mouse or one touch of the touchpad that I've just given them. And what have I gotten in return for it?
Nothing.
Oh yeah, I've gotten something. I've gotten a guarantee that I will be contacted over and over and over and over again. Because if they don't use the information, they will sell it. So that's the kind of danger that we walk into when we see something like a free gift card for $50. We've just given our identity over to somebody who can also collect more information about us. By the way, if you use something called a VPN, Virtual Private Network, when you click on the OK, this is what comes up. The VPN will block their ability to get the information. We'll talk about that a little later. Here's another one. This is a great impersonator. It's American Express. American Express is concerned, and they want me to click on where it says validation form. So if I do, here's what I end up with.
Wow.
Does that look official?
Yeah.
American Express will never ask you for this information in this way, but people will click on it because they fear that there's something wrong with their account. Then they'll fill out the form, send it in, and now whoever is collecting it has your date of birth, your social security number, your mother's maiden name, your mother's date of birth. This is the kind of information that can put you in debt very quickly, because you've also provided your American Express card number and login information. You've given away the keys to the kingdom. Here's one from the IRS. This one, you know, I've highlighted and expanded the address here. It's IRS at Care Alert 2016 1172 Verizon.net. If you receive a notice from the IRS, and you most likely will not receive an email from them, but if you happen to subscribe to them as I do, their address is at irs.gov. They don't use Verizon. They have a secure server. You notice it says my account will be blocked. Okay, so what happens if I look here and press on the new feature privacy update? Here's what they want. And I've expanded what the URL is at the top of the page. It's publicsb.com. Again, doesn't look like irs.gov. And you can see what kind of information they're asking for. They even want to know your gross adjusted income. Wouldn't you think that the IRS would know that? Wouldn't they also know your social security number? So we don't think. What we do is we react, and we either fear something or we're excited, like the gift cards, and the result is we pump out the information to people who shouldn't get it. So what do? What are the things you can do or not do? Well, I always preface this part of the presentation by saying you need to remember that every time you go online, every action, every word is being watched by someone or something. And what I suggest doing, if you don't believe that, is do a search for something. It doesn't matter what. It could be toasters, it could be car tires. Go back, make a cup of coffee, come back to your computer, and now go to any web page and see what the ads are. And I'll guarantee that the ads are whatever you just looked for when you were searching for a toaster or car tires or whatever else. Second bit of advice, if something is offered online absolutely free, you are not the consumer, you are the product. Your information is being collected and sold or given. So how do you protect yourself? Well, you can go to Grandpa's Computer Repair. Grandpa's very effective. You'll never have another problem. But what can you not do? Well, if something appears to be a fraudulent email from the address, or sometimes you'll get an email on your incoming list and it's got weird letters and symbols, and there's a whole string of them, and maybe hearts and stars and stuff. Legitimate companies don't do that. So if it looks like that, it most likely is fraudulent. Don't open it. If you do open it, beware of any links on a suspicious message, like the one that says free $50 gift card. But again, we get overwhelmed by the word free. So don't click on the link. Don't open the attachment. At best, it's going to take you to something like that site that I already showed you. At worst, you're going to end up downloading some malware to your computer. Don't ignore personal threats. If you are threatened personally, report it to law enforcement. They won't deal with things like just general scams. Bennington Police Department, they may get interested in it if they get a lot of reports. But if you're threatened personally, that's when the police become very interested. Don't respond to alerts. You get something like the IRS alert, don't use the contacts that are provided in the email, or something's wrong with your Amazon account or eBay account. What you need to do is go to the source that you can trust. If I get something saying there's a problem with my American Express card, then what I want to do is go to the American Express website independently, or use my card and call the number on that and say, is there a problem? Never respond to the alert directly using whatever contacts they provide you with. Don't click unsubscribe. All that does is it tells the sender you're alive and well and you want more messages. The exception to this rule is if you know that it's a legitimate email. For example, I used to own a Honda, and for many years after I got rid of the Honda, I was still getting emails from Honda. I unsubscribed. I don't get any more. I knew it was Honda. Okay, if I can verify that and it's at honda.com, then I'm willing to hit unsubscribe. But otherwise, if it's a junk email, don't unsubscribe. Don't use Facebook to tell everything about yourself or your family. Saying something as innocent as, we're going to take a break and go to Colorado for a week, translates to the house is empty, come rob us. A full face photo can very easily be scanned and used to produce a fake ID. So you want profile pictures, not full face. But beware of what you're putting in social media. Whenever you post something in social media, you should think of it like walking into the local Staples store and printing out 10,000 copies of your personal information and posting it on every telephone pole you see. Don't post full frontal photos. Don't do personal financial business on a public Wi-Fi or public computer. People think in the privacy of their hotel room, they can open up their computer, log on and do whatever they want to because they're in their private room. But they're on a public Wi-Fi system. The system may